Hello there, recently Trundle got buffed, the age of Trundle is here. This was posted 3 hours ago from LOL Toby. Now, I'm curious how does Trundle perform on top lane after the buffs. Let's see how does he perform, of course. Now, this scene does W in, he's looking for an all-in good kick, but look what he does. He actually pillars his E, cancels his dash, then turns over the fight completely, right? So that's something you should actually watch out for as Trundle. You should actually try to at least predict like this type of dashes with your E. It won't be consistent, but at least try to pillar cancel dashes. So that way you'll be a bit more skill expressive, while also notably you'll be able to kill your opponent. So that's like the outplay pattern in this type of close situations, right? And right. Now let's go back in here at Tinzibit. In here we are fighting Alawi, right? Now Alawi is very strong. She just doesn't have like Black Cleaver, of course, but she is very strong right now. And watch out what Trundle does. He does Q, he does W, but he covers behind minions. And now that he proc the Bork, he has to actually move on because he has no more minion cover. And he will actually sidestep really easily the Alawi E. And then he will look for an all-in, right? Because once Alawi Z doesn't connect, truth to be told, she doesn't really like hurts that hard, right? She doesn't really like hurts that hard, and then he is just melting his tower right after, right? That's definitely a great thing. Now these are his general runes, Demolish, right? Really important when you are taking plates. Especially on the side lane, it's very, very strong. Bomb plating is just a generic choice of rune. It's really good into all in matchups. Of course, last stand is very useful as well on the bottom part. It's really good in close duels. Triumph will heal you and your W will amplify the heal. Alacrity is just attack speed. But in my opinion, in some matchups you can really easily take either Tenacity or I would go Bloodline. Just because I feel like Trundle has enough attack speed from his W and little tempo. He got an auto reset too, so I don't know if Alacrity is really worth on Trundle in my opinion. It's still gonna help early on though. So TP Ghost is standard, huh? So TP Ghost ideally, maybe Ignite in some matchups if he considers it. So he does challenge the Yone. He does challenge the Yone right now. Now Yone can get free Q trades on Trundle, it's true. But you can also sidestep those Qs and try to like go for some type of Q trades. So he's trying to challenge a little bit the Yone, right? Because he does win a level 1 all-in if he sidesteps properly the Yone Qs, right? Right. Even though Yone had Q stacks and little tempo stacks, I do suppose Trundle still can win this. Let's see, he kites really well. That's the thing, he kites really well in the bush. Now the reason why he does that, of course, that Yone doesn't see him, so he gets the first basic attack of first, right? Well, also he doesn't get aggroed, while also Yone stacked what? His wind slash, right? And once Trundle is in the bush, it's kind of uncertain where did he go. Did he go upwards? Did he go downwards, right? Did he go to this corner? So it's very uncertain for Yone where to queue. Then he's in this sort of situation, oh my god, but he could walk up, he could stay here, he could walk to the side, right? So this causes a very confusing situation to Yone. And if he dashes in the bush and he misses Q, that's very bad. That's very bad. So he likes to cause a lot of uncertainty with the bushes, right? Even tempo, yeah, so that's so strong, right? You will be surprised, but like Darius loses level 1 into Trundle as an example. In fact, like 99% of the champions lose level 1 into Trundle. So he goes, right? Like he noticed an all-in angle, and this will be at least a flash trade, right? Now he noticed there that Yone. The thing is, that's the issue level 1 with Yone. If you mess up your Q, lots of champions like Trundle, you know, he has a really strong level 1, you know, insanely strong. If you miss your Q, which you are not really allowed to miss, by the way, what's gonna happen is very simple, you know, Trundle gonna ghost, your flash will be out. He's still gonna get a decent HP trade, half of Yone's HP is gone, more than half in fact, and the flash. So that's really good, because if he wants to recall now, that would be a bit ideal. Just because he is also weak-sided, but his recall would be very bad, like non-berserk boots Yone recall is often not the greatest, right? So if he will be so soon forced to TP back recall, right? if he goes for further more trade zone, that will suck because his recall is not that great. So as much as possible, you should recall on Berserk's boots on your own. He's really good at forcing, right? So his ghost was still on, and that's what a lots of ghost players are not doing enough. So when your ghost is still on, don't back off, because you may get trade opportunities, because remember you run at 430 and he runs at 345, right? But that's what a lots of ghost players don't do. They don't try to like sort of sneak in some basic attacks with the remaining amount of ghost duration, right? But yeah, it's a good player. I wouldn't say Trundle takes like an insane amount of skill. It's really good for beginners as well. But there are some things you have to learn about your auto spacings, your E-canceling when you cancel a dash, otherwise you can't kill, for example, Igna, right? You gotta know that you should queue into CC, right? Because then your Q is a uncancelable wind-up, so it doesn't cancel as compared to a basic attack, right? You gotta utilize your W really well at sidestep, so it takes some mechanic. So it does fight level 1 because it's a Nunu that has a lower amount of damage, right? Gwen does not have too much damage compared to Trundle level 1. So he does want to cause some type of disturbance in here because he's well aware that he can space them quite well, while also look for some type of all-in, right? But he's also like kiting backwards, right? So you can't just like go into any type of jungles, right? Preferably they should have one low damage champion, or both of them preferably. And so he was kiting backwards. That's what you should watch out for. Like when Nuno was stepping up, he was kiting more and more outwards. He has a decent attack speed early on, he has an auto reset, and he has a very high amount of base mobility. So it was very easy there to just focus Gwen and kite backwards as much as possible when Nunu tried to get close to basic attack, right? Because Nunu didn't even get his passive up, his Q up, right? So, I don't know, to be honest, what's Nunu doing. Maybe he was scared that he's gonna get invaded by guy, I'm not sure. I think Nunu low-key hinted this though, because what if Nunu was like perma-hitting the guy? He would bank give at the beginning of the combat attack speed to Gwen. I don't know, but this was allowed because, you know, turbo backed off, I feel like, no? Yeah? Yeah? I don't know, but it's a bit weird, you know? But you gotta, like, if the Nunu is turning on you, you gotta, like, space back, of course, which you can really easily with your extra mobility, right? Oh, really well played. That was extremely well played on his part. So he does actually destroy his ward, which is already a really good thing, because for Nidalee it will be super easy to gank them, right? But also, now he can more smoothly level 1 zone without getting aggroed, right? And watch. So Yorick when he started, so his level 1 combat is not so strong as, of course, as Trundle's. And he gets traded on even though he has bomb plating on Yorick. And as much as possible he stays in zoning range. Maybe he should sidestep a little because Yorick has EF, so I'm not sure if staying in one place is the greatest idea. But I assume he stays in one place because of the XP range, right? I think it has to do with the very specific XP range. That's why he doesn't move to sidestep. So he tries to pressure as much as possible. And while he wants to soak the minion, because like his level 2 is important, right? Yeah, but these are really good trades again, because he is strong-sided by Nidalee. Now Yorick is also strong-sided by Lee, but ideally Trundle and Nidalee should win this, because Yorick will be too low by the time, while also Yorick has like less sustain currently. I guess he has a D shield, right? He has a D shield. Maybe he could ban either, no? Couldn't he? Ooh, he messed up his E, because in there he could ban trade some extra basics. I assume at least some extra basics, which means that Nidalee ganks more smoothly, no? Let's see how does the Nidalee does actually go for some invade. He goes for mid gank, he doesn't come stop. But he's not top yet either. This is a very good E usage, right? And a lot of players are not using E in this trade. Now note Nidalee is not around. Normally if Nidalee is around and you get a dive angle, you should actually use your E, right? To set up a Nidalee spear. But here's the thing, in this case scenario, you can't really use E too aggressively unless he steps up a bit too deeply, then you go for some basic trades. But ideally you can use it to zone your opponent away from CS, because with your last sort of mana, that's what you want to do before you recall. Ideally in here with recall, or perhaps rotate to the invade itself. That will soon break out, right? So in here he kinda does force a trade in this case scenario. He doesn't use his pillar to deny CS. But does he force? Oh, okay, he does force. He got caught a little bit inside of that, He does escape, that's good. I'm not sure if Yori can flash or not, but if he had flash there, I think Yori could ban flash away and this could backfire, so keep that in mind. The moment that the opponent gives auto range, then auto Q. Okay, that's good, because like, how's it called? Gangplank has less auto range than you have by 50. It's very easy. Ooh, that hurts! That hurts! But Trundle does sustain, right? That's the thing, Trundle does sustain, and the thing is, like, yes, Gangplank hurts, but he doesn't have persistent damage. They usually go Grasp or First Strike, while also notably, when they go Grasp or First Strike, they don't have Last Stand, they don't have Lethal Tempo, and Trundle's Q is a constant DPS ability that he has up, like, you know, every 4 seconds, steals AD, provides AD, so it's insane level 1. So even though some champs can have some upfront burst, you still can win a Ghost all-in, because they don't have, like, they don't have that type of, like, good follow-up DPS, right, after some burst. It's kind of like a Z, you know, it might be scary. It might not be the best example, you know, but it's kind of like a Z, you know, when you play a DPS champ like Trindamir, you know, Trundle, these champs, let's say level 2, level 3, all in sim. Now, his burst might be a bit scary at the beginning, but he doesn't have persistent DPS, right? And let me think of a good, like, top lane example. Like, what's a champion that has burst but no persistent DPS? I mean, one of those would be, unironically, I'm thinking of Ornn actually, because he actually has some burst from his W. Now, what else is there? I mean, Cannon, right? But on Cannon you really got to have like an all-in angle, like a really good all-in angle. So preferably shouldn't have E, right? I mean, there are some. It's like for some reason I can't really get anything into my mind. Maybe Riven in some way, but Riven does have DPS as well. Like most of the top champs are DPS oriented champs. Gragas, right, has some burst in his all-in. For some reason I can't really Renekton, but Renekton does have some degree of DPS as well with Conk, right? So I'm not sure if I'm not sure what kind of good example should I tell you, because almost every top laner actually relies on having DPS and not burst. If the enemy has a dash, don't pillar up front. Yeah, don't pillar up front, because you can't force an all-in, because what's gonna happen is really simple, they just E-through. Engage with W, then E after they dash, right? Or you can also be tricky and predict their dash, that's also like totally fine. Which is a teensy bit better, since she has less space to escape, right? Okay. He really knew his limits, right? She had first item, he had first item, and he really knew his limits there, right? Okay, so let's see if he wants to ward. Maybe he has no wards, and that's why he's bush camping, in case he wants to step up the ward. Let's see. He does punish. Oh, really good pillar punish, right? Because he is stuck in between the walls, right? Really good E angle, right? Then he wants to destroy the barrel as well, definitely, does he? He does, well played on his part. Yeah, but extremely well played on his part. He picked up the Gangplank. So it takes some, some skill, to play even a Trundle. That's what I would always say. Like, don't limit yourself to those type of judgments that a certain champion doesn't take like any brain power or any amount of skill, because that way you won't really like learn too much. It does take grasp as well, apparently, in the type of matchups, I assume, where short trading is quite a important thing. But okay, he will E correctly. Oh, he plays exhaust ghost. Interesting. Oh, that's interesting actually. Does pick him up. Oh, he queues. I would maybe just wait for Q and Q him instead of basic queuing, but should be fine though. So he does force into Yone once he misses his W. He's well aware that his basic attack blades are quite strong actually, right? Because from one hand, the cool thing about Trundle is that you have lots of base mobility, while also you have like a lot of W speed. So it's easy to sidestep Yone's abilities overall. Like, in here he does actually E to deny Lee, right? Sadly he couldn't deny the Yone as well at the same time, but he should be fine because he's alive. And now he ult flash Qs, right? Very easy animation cancel. it's not a hard champion. I would say he's not bad. He's not the best, but he's not bad, right? He's not the best, I would say. It's not like, in a way, he's not too beginner friendly. He is, because it doesn't take too much skill, and so some matchups will be easy, but you gotta know how to play them in a way, how to layer your abilities, right? When can you all in, when you can't all in, right? But I think the harder part will be that you will struggle into like poking matchups, like something like Gragas Rumble, something like that, that you have to like sort of learn how to deal with. But overall the matchups can be fun, some of them are just, yeah, against hard AP. He builds Hexdrinker, right? So lots of top laners like Aatrox, Darius I've seen building it against me when I played Rumble. It's really annoying. Aatrox players I've seen even rushing Ma or Darius once, right? But you don't have to rush it as a whole. I think it's really important because Rumble has lots of damage. So, and he even went for Boots of Swiftness because Rumble slows on E and on ult, right? So he has more gap close. Ingapor, ooh, that's a bit close, but it should be fine. Now notice he does quite often go Ravenous. The reason behind that, you get a lots of AD, you get wave clear, which you don't really have on Trundle, sadly, so that's super good. That's insanely good. Life Steal is great as well. Like everything that Ravenous has to provide is actually great. It's actually great. Can't stop Trundle's push. Here's the thing, like that's the thing, like it's very ideal for you to win right the lane, so you can extend your lead really easily into the side lane. Yes, so quite often you will actually go Heartbreaker, playstyle, split push, Yes. I like the animation, by the way, on this Fright Night Trundle. If the enemy messes up macro even once or they get delayed. Oh yeah, I mean, in here he would die for these 2 towers even, right? He would die for those 2 towers, because then he can threaten a backdoor that they have to like play really carefully around objectives. Preferably they should give it up, otherwise Trundle just ends in no time, right? His team can TP if Trundle has a ward for his team, right? Let's just stop the... Oh, do they stop Dazir? So he does contest. So instead of like fighting them, fighting the Azir, fighting the Zyra, right? He's well aware that he's gonna be kited out, and he's not very likely gonna win that duel. So he took a really smart decision. He's not fighting them. He actually prefers to end the game faster than they do, because like Trundle is insanely fast at like destroying even the Nexus, not only towers, and Azir can trace it. Azir can trace it. Azir cannot race it, and it's over, it's over. But these are the important like scenarios where you have to recognize, can I fight them, or should I look for a potential backdoor, because I can't contest their backdoor, or the other logic is I can end faster than they do. So that's like one way to win the game for us, right? If you are 100% sure in that. Once the tower is low enough, proceed to show a full health tower. I mean, the thing is, like, for Trundle, every tower is low enough, Every tower is just low enough. So it's not like, it's like every tower he gets like WQ, Demolish into is low enough for him. It's funny, right? So I think that's it for now. Have a nice day, and remember to subscribe to LOL Toby. It's his video. I'm just reacting to it. He's a very good YouTuber. I've been watching multiple of his videos, and also before I forget, I'm gonna leave a like on his video. So that's it for now, guys. Have a nice day.